5 rules. I'll throw them at you real simple, okay? They're really simple. I think they're simple. Of course, I never want to sound like the trigonometry teacher who stands in front of the class and yells at you for not understanding trigonometry when she or he's been doing trigonometry for the last 650 years. Rule number 1, in any relationship that you have, rule number 1, are you ready? No hitting, punching, pushing, grabbing, throwing things, or raising your voice, or blocking the door, ever. Never. Okay? No hitting. No punching. No grabbing. No throwing or breaking shit. No blocking the door. No raising your voice. Ever. Because when you get to the place where you are saying, listen, you... and you are screaming like I watched my parents scream in that house I told you about in our second meeting last week. When you are at that place where you're yelling like that, and your emotion is stirred up like O.J. Simpson was in Nicole that day, you are now dangerous. You are now dangerous to yourself and to others. No hitting, punching, pushing, grabbing, throwing things, blocking the door. We're going to talk about this right now. No, fuck you. We're not talking about this right now because you are crazy. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Now the trick is to feel it when it's already starting to escalate and get it here instead of when it's here. Because once it's here, you've been there, right? Some of you have been there. You live in the houses where it's there, right? It sucks. You're not in control anymore. You're saying and doing shit that's really bad. Tough to repair. No hitting. Ever. And I think this applies to kids too, but we'll talk about that in another lecture. No hitting. No pushing. Someone started to break shit when they're around you, or they're that kind of angry? And I'll bet everybody in this room has been around that anger at least once in your life. Get away. Rule number 2, no name calling. Name calling is violent. I talked to somebody today, she said her boyfriend was calling her an effing C. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And yet, come on, be honest with me now. How many of you have heard a person, especially a woman, called the C word in a disparaging way and a person meant it in your lifetime? Raise your hand if you've heard somebody call the C word. Raise your hand. I'll bet you we got 80% of the hands up in the room. It's not okay. No name calling. My ex-wife and I, we used to get in fights. We would call each other by our parents' first name. I called her Joan, she'd call me Norman. Oh, I'm going to kill her. Don't call me Norman. Don't fucking call me Norman. Rule number 3. We have to set times to talk. If you want to have a long-term healthy relationship, and this is what I taught this couple last night, you have to keep a list of the shit that you're troubled by. You keep a list and I'll keep a list. And then we're going to set a time to sit down and we're going to talk. We're going to flip a coin to see who goes first. And you're going to share with me. What this guy was pissed about last night, in a couple sessions I was telling you about, is that she had a friend who died recently, and the funeral happened to fall the day that they were supposed to leave for a 5-day ski trip up in the mountains. They had the cabin, he was all excited, he was really happy, he was going to go away with his wife, he couldn't wait, he got new skis, and he only gets 2 weeks off a year, and he took one of those weeks, that week, her friend had the freaking nerve to go and die. Now, does he have a right to be pissed about that? In my head, absolutely. Hell yeah. I've been pissed. Shit, your friend went and died on our vacation? What the fuck is that? I'm not going to hear myself saying shit like that. That's what I said to him. I said, why don't you go out by yourself? You didn't want to go to the funeral anyway. I mean, who wants to go to a funeral? He says, who likes to go to the mountains alone? I'm not going to ski alone. I said, so what did you do? You stayed home, went to the funeral? He says, yeah. I said, you were pissed all the time, right? He says, yeah. You get to be pissed. You don't get to throw the stuff off the counter. Call her names, take her phone cord and wrap it the right way. Set a time to talk. You got roommates? You got trouble with your roommates? Put these rules in effect. Set a time to talk. Get this shit out on the table. Make the implicit explicit. You know when someone's pissed at you, right? I mean, it's this damn weird game Americans play. Like I'm going to play like, oh, hi, how you doing? We're so nice, oh, we're happy. No, I fucking hate you. It's like, you know what? I know. I feel it when you walk in the room. It's like a we're going to pretend we like each other? I'm going to pretend I'm not pissed at you? No. I'm going to say, hey, I would like us to find a time to talk. Because I think we need to talk because I feel like there's some shit going on. And you can tell me when that is, because if now's not a time, cool. Just let's figure out a time. We don't do that. We walk around and pretend we're not pissed at each other. How many of you got a roommate like that? Raise your hand. No, you might be in the room. Okay, yeah. Yeah. How many of you got people like that in your family? Like there's crap. There's crap. Sometimes I tell couples that I work with, my job, I'm like the roto-rooter dude. I'm taking the shit out of the lines. Let's set a time to talk. Rule number 4 is a really, 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 really hard one. We can only talk about one topic at a time when we sit down to talk. We can't talk about more than one topic at a time. One topic. That's all. Just one. And so that's a really hard one because people want to bring in the kitchen sink. They want to bring in everything. Yeah, I hate when you're late to pick me up to go to the movie. I want to see the previews. I love all those stupid things they do before. I want to see all those previews, see how stupid movies people go to watch. I love the previews. And you're always freaking late. Why are you always late? Oh, yeah? Well, remember last week? We were supposed to go to lunch. And you were late. That sounds like one topic, doesn't it? Lateness. It's not. It's 2 topics. So it's a really, really hard one. First one we're going to cover is you being late when we go to the movie. When you're ready, we'll talk about me being late to come get you to go to lunch. 2 separate topics. Y'all with me on that? One topic at a time is really hard one. And rule number 5, no threats to leave the relationship unless your bags are packed and you're ready to go. Because we get in relationships and they're really kind of crazy. We get in relationships and we break up with each other. We break up. That's it, I'm done. Screw you. Then we call up and say, hey, you want to go to dinner now? Like, wait, no, I thought we broke up. I was just kind of pissed off. So you can't do that because that'll ruin the relationship.